Greetings in Christ. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to cover some of the hymns and the readings for the third Sunday of Easter. The 18th is the Sunday of April. First, our opening hymn is Father Welcomes All His Children. Interesting story behind Robin Mann, who wrote this hymn, shares this story. The day before our daughter was born, I had a tune running around and in my head. I was teaching then, and I whistled this tune off and on all day. Kristen was finally born by cesarean on the evening of Thursday, July 12, 1973. John Sable, student chaplain and good friend, suggested I write a baptism song for her. The tune I had been whistling became the chorus, and I recall consulting Luther's large catechism for the verses and playing the song on the Sables. The Sables piano that Sunday. Dorothy wasn't feeling that much like songs at the time, but even she was pleased at the result when I sang to her in the Ashford Hospital. So that's a story behind the author's writing of that hymn. Father Welcomes All His Children, a very comforting hymn. The text, of course the bulletin is attached to this announcement, but the text first from Acts, after having healed in chapter 3, he's kind of following them, and they're addressing the men of Israel and pointing out to them that many of them were part of the putting of Jesus to death, and they did it in ignorance. And he says, just repent and become part of it. And many of the early Christians in Jerusalem were some who were on the wrong side of the debate, unfortunately, but they came to faith and they were forgiven, many of them. We think of Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea, things like that. They actually came to him sooner. Then we have our epistle is 1 John chapter 3, and the comforting word in there that opens up with we are called the children of God. And our gospel text from Luke chapter 24. Again, we have a post-resurrection appearance as we go through the Eastern season, and we have peace be with you, be to you. He greets them, and he's emphasizing his post-resurrection physical nature. You saw him, you're troubled in your hearts, but arise. Here I am. Look at my hands and my feet. Touch me. And even ask them for something to eat in that gospel text. Our sermon hymn, or our hymn of the day, is hymn 700. This is a hymn that was written by Charles Wesley, one of the originators of the American Methodism. But he also wrote a lot of great hymns, and this is one of them, Love Divine, All Loves Excelling, one that was written by him in the mid-1700s. And finally, our closing hymn, Rise and Shine, You People. This one actually is a result of Augsburg Fortress is a publishing house. It's now an ELCA publishing house. I think it was before that part of the ALC, the American Lutheran Church. But it's ELCA. But for about 2 years, they had a hymn competition. And hymns of the day were provided on a monthly basis for about 2 years. And Rise, Shine, You People was one of those hymns that was it was part of a competition, and they were produced between 73 and 75. Some of them that are in our hymnal from that 2-year process. We have Martin Franzmann, Our Paschal Lamb That Sets Us Free, is 473 in our hymnal. And Yaroslav Vaja wrote one that is Up Through Endless Ranks of Angels. That's LSB 491, and appeared in the program. Rise and Shine, You People is by a gentleman by the name of Ronald Klug. And he was born in 1939. So our hymns for this particular Sunday, all of them are, some of them barely hundreds of years old, or just even less than 100. Practically contemporary music. All right. That's all we have for this week. I encourage you to read the texts and the other parts of the bulletin as you prepare for the coming week. Go in peace, serve the Lord. Thanks be to God.